So hello everybody and welcome to another DAX Fridays. In today's DAX Fridays we're actually I'm going to show you how you can use inactive relationships in a slicer. So to be able to slice by data that has been connected through an inactive relationship. So let's get started. Okay, so this is how this case looks like. We have three tables. We have one table that has a user information. And this is just the name and the country. You can have any information whatsoever. We have another table that has content that has been published into an, for example, internal intranet. So this is title 1, title B. This is the content ID for the title, and this is who of these users created actually that post. And then we have another table that contains who has seen those posts that were published. Okay. So now let's look at how our model looks like. If we go here to the modeling tab, we have, this is our user ID. And obviously the user ID is connected to our library of content, to the creator ID. And then the content ID is connected to the seen table, so the table that contains who has watched or read what, by user ID, or by content ID. So each content has been seen by many users. So now let's start to try to do some analysis. We have here again our user table. This is the content that the posts that are available. So title A, B, and C, and who has watched them. You can see the title A has been watched by 1, 2, which is Anna, Laura, for example. So now let's see that we want to see how many people has seen the different posts. So we would go and we will create a new measure called, number of views, for example. And this is going to be a count of users. Count of user ID. So if you remember our user table, this is the content and how many people. So we don't have an actual scene, but we have who saw it. So we need to count them. So if we put this in here, you will see that title A was watched twice. It's true. Title B was watched 3 times. Title C 2, and title C works very nice. Beautiful. Now I want to see who has watched or read what. So I'm going to put the display name in here, and I'm going to put it as a matrix. And now you can see that things are going to look weird, to start to look weird. So why is that? If we look at title A, it says that Anna has seen this twice, which in fact is not true. You can see that title A has been watched by Anna, which is 1, and 2, Laura, which is 2. So what's going on? If I put display name in here, this is what we're seeing. Right, so this is another way to see it. And every time you see that things are repeating in a weird way, especially when you have very simple measures, like we have here just a count, you might wonder that something is wrong with the relationships. You need to go back to your model and think, what's wrong? As you can see here, user ID is filtering content, and content is filtered as seen, but seen cannot filter user ID, so this table cannot access the information of user ID. We need to create a shortcut. And you say root.cc, we go seen, and then user ID. So we're going to connect user ID from whoever's seen the stuff, and then user ID from our user table. And then you see that it will create a inactive relationship. The reason for that is because if it is active, the model will not know which way to go. It will create ambiguity and it will give you wrong results. So it creates an inactive relationship, so you can actually decide when that relationship should be activated. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So we are going to actually create a new views measure inactive. That activates the inactive relationship. So we're going to do calculate, and then we're going to put the views, but we're going to have user relationship. That function right there says activate this relationship for these calculations. So neat. So you have to start from the many to the 1 and then from the one to the many. The many is the scene table, so you have to put scene user ID, and the one, it comes from the user ID. So user ID is basically the one that has unique user IDs, and that's all you need to do. Now, let me copy that, put it in there, and now we're going to substitute the previous views to the new views. And now look what happens. So we have Anna and Laura have seen watch title 1, which is exactly what let me get rid of this so you don't get confused. Here, Anna and Laura again, and then title B has also been seen by Peter, which is number 3 there. Yeah, it works really, really neat. Now it is working perfectly. And you can put any of the columns in the user table, for example, in a slicer, and that's what I meant in the beginning. So you can see, for example, who from Spain has watched what, and then you can see that from Spain it is actually user 2, which is title A, B, and D, and this is what you see. So you can filter by country and it will give you the information that you want. So neat, huh? So hopefully this video helped you understand a little bit more about modeling. I do have an introduction to Power BI modeling that goes through the basics of it. If you want to take a look at that, take it out. I think you'll check it out here or here. And I will see you again on Tuesday with a new Power BI video. Until then, have a great weekend and bye-bye.